Good evening, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. My name is Kayla, and I am the placement director here at National Training. We have a special guest with us tonight, Sade Hamilton. We'll get with her in just a few minutes. She's with Schneider, great company. I can't wait for you guys to hear all about it. A little bit before we get over to her, while we're waiting on everybody to finish logging on here, we're going to go over a little bit of the housekeeping, as I like to call it. So you might be joining us from your phone or your tablet, maybe your laptop, or even your desktop computer. There's going to be some controls that you're going to see, and I want to go over those real quick with everybody. The number one icon here is going to be your microphone if you're looking at a tablet or a smartphone, like on the app or anything like that. That's where everybody can click to ask questions. I will open those up here in just a little while. Number two is going to be our hand icon. If I'm going too fast, or if you have a question that you want to ask right away, you can go ahead and raise that hand. If everybody would go ahead and raise their hands, that way I know you can hear me. I'd appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you raising those hands real quickly for me. Number three, going to be our question icon. You have a question, if you don't want to use your microphone or you don't want to talk, I get it. Some people don't like to talk in a group. You can ask your question by clicking that, and it comes right to me. That way I can answer it for you guys, or have Sade answer it for you as well. Some people might have the camera icon like you see here. We're going to keep those off tonight, just because some people that are joining us might be from a more rural situation where the bandwidth might not be as high, and they might not be able to get the good connection. So we don't like to take up that internet bandwidth. A little bit about who we are here at National Training. We were incorporated in 1978 as a proprietary post-secondary vocational education institution. We are committed to providing a strong curricula with programs that emphasize practical, usable skills blended with the relevant general education foundation. We have a caring environment with personal attention and close faculty-student interaction, and an open door admission policy. We are Florida's oldest private truck driving school. We have a state-of-the-art training facility and a 1.25-mile multi-lane highway that ensures a safer, more efficient training. We've graduated well over 40,000 students since 1978. You might find yourself asking yourself this question: why drive a truck for a living? Plain and simple, I like to say job security. So speaking of job security, at this time, I would like to invite Ms. Sade to join us and tell us a little bit about Schneider. Thanks for joining us, Sade.
Hi. Well, my name is Sade Hamilton. I'm the Southeast Field Recruiter for Schneider. I've been in the industry for about 15, this year make 16 years. I actually started driving as combination vehicle. So I understand what it is to get into a trucking school and gain the knowledge to build a career. Schneider is a great company to work for. I settled with Schneider because of the values. First off, I always like to tell everybody about our values, because most people work for companies and they don't understand or know the values of that company. But our values are safety, integrity, respect, and excellence. I always say safety because we put a lot of time and money into our drivers and our equipment, our training, integrity, because we stand on what we give our drivers. We always try to make sure that we give the drivers our best foot forward, and we teach them the things that's going to get them ready for them to get out on the road. Respect. We respect our drivers' time and money. We help our drivers with getting home on time. We stack our loads, so when they're traveling, you can go back and forth with ease, that you know you'll be able to make it home during the time you're supposed to be there. And excellence. Everybody's core value should be excellence, because you always want to be a better version of yourself every day. Schneider roughly hauls about a little over 19,000 loads a day. We have about 11,000 company drivers. We run about 10,000 trucks a day, and we have a little over 33,000 trailers on the road at any time. So Schneider is a major carrier. We actually have more than 2/3 of the Fortune 500 companies that we haul for as customers. That's like Walmart, Target, Bass Pro, things of that nature, just to give you an idea. Schneider has been in business for over 85 years. And I see Kayla moving around on the website. So we'll reach out and talk about some of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you yourself have been in the position that our attendees and our students and our alumni have been in as well. And that really makes it where you can relate to these incoming drivers. And I love that about you. So
yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about somebody coming right out of school, coming to work for Schneider. They talked with you while they were here and they're interested and they want to come work for Schneider. What's the first thing that they're going to encounter once they start with Schneider?
So with us, the first thing is training. We do have experienced drivers, but our doors are open to every driver that has a Class A CDL. So straight out of school, we have training that prepares you so when you get your truck. But the first thing you would want to do is go on our website and put in your zip code. And once you have your CDL in hand, I always say 30 days before you graduate, you'd like to start looking for a job. So whatever your zip code is, you would put in your zip code and it'll show what jobs are available in your area. I see you put up green codes right over there by the school. So it actually changes from day to day. So
Absolutely.
Whatever the customer requirements are, that's what we have on our website. So like today, I'm just going to use, so right now it's saying 3 months greater experience. That's because whatever the customer's needs are is what we're servicing. You might look at it tomorrow and it'll say all CDL holders. So as the positions are filled, we update them. So it'll never be the same. I mean, it changes 2 and 3 times each day, as Kayla and I was talking about earlier. But the easiest way is to look at our job offers. We like to call them job offers because they're all in black and white. And if you were to click on it, it'll just tell you everything about that job. As we look in here and you see the team van truckload drivers, it says all CDL holders. So that's a position that straight out of school, any CDL holder can apply for. And if you were to click on it, you see the sign-up bonus. But if you were to click on it, it would go into more detail about that position. I like to say job offer because it'll tell you everything about that job, where you will run, what you're projected to make. Usually with team drivers and tanker drivers, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with tankers, but team and tanker straight out of school are the highest paid positions. So a lot of drivers like to take advantage of that once they do training. With our drive van, that's the 53-foot trailer that you guys will be working with in school. Usually the training is 18 days. You would get with the trainer, and depends on your area. You would go to a training facility where Schneider covers breakfast, lunch, dinner. You is provided by yourself, but we cover all transportation and lodging needs.
Wonderful. For some reason, the website's being a little slow today. It might be my internet here, having some issues. But so tell us a little bit about where would a new driver coming on with Schneider go for their orientation or go to start training?
So, out of Florida area, usually I see my drivers go to North Carolina or Atlanta because those are the closest facilities. But if you're going to go to training for tanker, it'll be somewhere in Pennsylvania. So it depends on, what training you're going for.
Okay. So there's different options, obviously.
Yes. But we try to keep you closest to home.
Wonderful. So what kind of benefits does Schneider offer for their drivers?
So after 60 days of being employed with Schneider, you're entitled to vision, health, and dental benefits. We also have 401k match. With your benefits, you get to choose which plan you like, whatever is good for you and your family. We also have 401k match up to 6%. So if you're with Schneider for 3 years, and you decide to move on or take your expertise elsewhere, you're able to take whatever match that we put into your 401k with you. So usually it's about 5 years, but we know that life happens and families grow, things change. So we like to make it convenient for our drivers.
Absolutely. So there's lots of different benefits and perks. Now, I know it probably depends on which type of driving they're doing, but what's an average first year salary for a new driver?
So it basically depends on what job offer you take. I've seen team drivers make up to $118,000 a year.
Wonderful.
And I've also seen solo drivers, some people coming out of school, they have the agility to run the hours, your clock. So it depends on what you do. But the average driver makes at least $63,000 straight out of school.
Very nice. That's nothing to scoff at, that's for sure. That's a great way to start out on a new career.
Yeah, most definitely. But, we try to make sure that when you apply for a position, it's something that will suit you and your family. We like to share our home time with you. So when you apply for a position, it'll definitely tell you you'll be out if you're going to be out for a week or 3 weeks. So that way you'll be able to schedule your home time around your family. So you can get home and enjoy them.
Wonderful. I love that. So I'm still battling. I'm trying to get the website back up. I don't know what's going on. Tell us a little bit about the military perks and benefits for those military members that might be interested in coming to work for you guys.
So we do. If there's any military on, I would like to thank you for your service first and foremost. So we do have guaranteed home time for military active duty members. So if you were to come to work for Schneider, just assure that we will make sure you get home on time. We like to highlight our military program because our founder is actually a veteran. So again, thank you for your service. With military, we also have, if you have money left over in your GI Bill, we have where you can be compensated extra besides your check for your services. And we also like to build your experiences. So if you did any kind of driving, or it depends on what your MOS was in the military, we would try to make sure when you come in, it's at a different pay rate because of the service that you're given.
Very cool. So just a little added appreciation to those who have served our country. I love that. And this Rite of Pride truck is pretty cool.
Yes, definitely.
People always talk about it, and I just love it. I think it's so awesome. So you guys have the military apprenticeship program, which is great. We do get a lot of veterans that come through our school, and we always appreciate their service. So now, one thing I like to talk with you about, particularly us both being women here, is women in trucking. This is a big thing with Schneider, and we are seeing an increasing amount of lady truckers coming through our program, and we love it.
Yeah, we definitely do. I like to shine the light on, drivers in general, we can't live without them.
Absolutely.
But as a trucking, I definitely understand. I remember before women in trucking was popular, I was out there trying to learn. So I love to see it being highlighted. Our own Kayla McCall, she is the face of Schneider for women in trucking. She was actually one of my students from a school that I service. So I like to send shots out to her. We also try to make it educational, so that way, regardless of where you are, where you live, and whether man or woman, that we give you the training that you need, so when you're out on the road, you're prepared.
Absolutely. So a lot of people, we get a lot of phone calls and people inquiring, they might have a hard time paying for school. So I know you guys offer tuition reimbursement. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So we do offer tuition reimbursement up to $7,000. So if you did pay for school, or you had to put money down for school or expenses during school, and you have those receipts, we do reimburse up to $7,000, which is reimbursed in installments for up to 12 months. So you'll get that each month after your 30 days.
Fantastic. So, if you're worried, hey, I know I have to finance this, at least you're getting that money on top of your salary coming in to help you pay for school, which is great. It really does. It's a career that really pays for itself in no time.
Most definitely.
I like y'all's trucks, especially the orange ones. Just stand out in there.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the equipment that these drivers are going to have.
Okay, so I like to start off by saying, again, safety is our number one core value, and our trucks are no more than 5 years old. We have the highest quality and technology. We like to put a lot of maintenance time, and again, I say money because without our trucks, we wouldn't even be here. So our trucks are no more than 5 years old. When they get up to that age, we sell them off. We put them on our SNL site, that Schneider Financing. We lease them off. We send them off to other carriers, and we do have owner operators that purchase our trucks. We have EOD, and our fleet is fully automatic. As for right now, I know that technology is advancing, so we do have some prototype trucks for electronic trucks that we are looking at because we have to grow with the economy. And
Absolutely.
over on the West Coast, they're saying that they won't have trucks in the year 2037, that they're going to be asking that they have electronic trucks that does not run on diesel. So we do have some of those in our fleet also.
Very cool. That's a new one. I hadn't heard about that yet. I've heard about the out west thing, but I hadn't heard that you guys had some of the prototypes. That's awesome. What are their trucks that they're going to be driving? What do they come equipped with?
Also, we have built-in fridge. We have cameras, which are all out-facing. The cameras are actually for your safety. They go around the truck so you can see when you're backing. It gives you a chance to make sure that you can check your mirrors without having to lean out the truck. So we do have a lot of advanced technology in our truck that will help you while you're maneuvering out on the road. Very
nice. Obviously you guys are gonna have the inverters. Looks like you guys got some comfy mattresses in there for people too, because you have to have all the comfort.
And I know you see while you're reading it, we have the bulk heaters, so you don't have to idle. And again, I always like to just stress the fact that our trucks are maintenance, and they are no more than 5 years old, and that is a game changer for people who are running teams and people who like to do a lot of miles. Every year, our team drivers, they're upgraded in their trucks actually because they run a lot of miles.
Very nice. So I see satellite radio. That's my favorite right there. Tablet, electronic logging. So we teach the old school paper logs here, but it's good to know because stuff happens with technology. So I always tell people, we're going to teach you the foundation of it here, and then they'll teach you the e-logs once you get out on the road. But this mirrorless trucking, that's a pretty cool concept to me. I've seen a couple of those trucks here recently. I'm like, oh, that's just so cool, where it has the mirrors,
the cameras, the mirrors.
That's so cool. And it helps with fuel mileage too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So I always recommend any of our listeners tonight to go on their website here, schneiderjobs.com. Look at their equipment and technology and watch the video on those mirrors. I think that's just too cool.
Definitely.
All the gadgets are crazy.
And also with our ELD technology, when you go through training with Schneider, regardless if you were to do tankers, which is 5 weeks, our drive-in, which is 18 days, we will teach you how to maneuver. We will teach you how to use the equipment and what your truck is equipped with. We will teach you our values. We also teach you how to make sure that you know what protocol, we call it Schneiderizing, the protocol that is needed if you were to have an accident or incident, which none of us are going to have. But we just make sure that our drivers are ready, so when they get out on the road, they'll know what needs to be done.
Absolutely, because that safety is super important, of course.
Definitely.
Sade, is there any other points that you'd like to talk about before we open up the phone lines to any questions?
Well, I'll just like to thank you guys for having me, but I do want to make sure that you know that I will be visiting you if you were to pick, if you were to go to school with Kayla. It's a great school to start your career, and we'll back you 100% if you decide to come with Schneider. Thank you so much for speaking with me tonight.
Awesome. So let's open up some phone lines before you go, Sade, and see if anybody has any
Okay.
questions. Anybody have any questions? Go ahead and raise your hand, or you can type it into the question box. Be happy to answer them for you. One question I got in the question box already is, do you guys have a pet policy?
We do have a pet policy. Again, safety is our number one core value. So solo is not allowed to have pets. Well, if you're a team, you are able to have pets. The reason being is because pets are just like children. Maybe like a toddler. I'll use that scenario. So if your toddler is running loose in the truck, just distracting you, you won't be able to focus on what you need to focus on while driving. But if you had a team partner, then they would be able to watch your pet while you're driving. So that is our policy.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, kind of along the lines of this also, do you have a rider policy where people could have like a non-CDL driver?
Yes. So after 6 months, after 6 months of being an experienced driver, again, being with the company for 6 months, you can have someone if they're older than 10 years. If they're your relative, they have to be older than 10 years old, and if they're not related, they'll have to be over 18. So basically, I've seen it where it's about $25 a month, but to insure your passengers. But that doesn't mean that you can have one passenger. Let's say husband wants to ride, your daughter wants to ride. You would just get with your driver manager, and they would make sure that that person is insured, and it all goes for that $125 a month.
Okay, very cool. Danielle asked a question. She said she wasn't sure if it was mentioned. Do you offer home daily options with Schneider?
So we do. I did not go into our 4 lanes of transportation, which is dedicated, intermodal, dry van, and tanker, which is bulk. We do, and usually I see home daily with dedicated positions. You get to choose. So again, we have job offers. You would be able to choose whatever offer you see. Usually it'll tell you if you're home daily, weekly, every other day. So you would choose that. And also with our intermodal division, it usually is run by owner operators, but you have to have at least 6 months experience with that division, and they are home daily. It's a local position.
Wonderful.
And so, I'm sorry, and to be an owner operator for Schneider, you have to have at least 6 months of experience. But that is another home daily option.
Okay, fantastic. She also asked, what if she has 2 kids that she wanted to take as passengers? Would she be able to take them simultaneously?
So you have to have, just by DOT standards, you have to actually be able to have the person strapped down in the truck. So you would need to have that person insurance, but it's only one passenger at a time because they have to have proper seating. Let's say if you're in a team driving environment, the team driver can ride in the passenger seat, or even if they're in the bunk, they'll be strapped down in the bunk while resting. So just for your safety and the passengers.
Fantastic. Good questions. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Any other questions, guys? You guys can raise your hands or you can pop them into the question box. I'll keep an eye on that as well. All right, let's see here. We talked about that. Okay. Yeah, I think we've answered most of the questions kind of as we went. But you did a great job, Sade. Thanks for joining us tonight, and thanks for being so thorough. If anybody else has any questions for us, you can definitely pop them in the chat, and I can absolutely help you answer them, or I can direct you to Sade as well. But thanks so much for joining us tonight, Sade. We really appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, no problem. But I can also give you all my number, my cell number. I'm available to my drivers all day, every day. Usually I get texts at night if I'm sleeping, and I'll respond back in the morning. But my number is 912-410-9670. And you can also find me on Facebook. I answer questions, and even when drivers are looking for a home, which I call, your career, your home, because that's what's going to help build whatever family dynamics you have. I am available, and I look forward to speaking with you guys and seeing you all at school.
Thank you so much, Sade. We really appreciate it. I did type your phone number into the chat so everyone can see that. That way, if anybody missed it, they can pull it right off of there.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great night. We'll see you next week here to see our class.
I'll see you next week. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, guys, we're going here for just a few more minutes and talk a little bit more about our school here. Our trucks, thousands of drivers have had their very first truck driving experience in our trucks with cab over engines, with a sleeper, conventional condos, sleeper cabs, day cabs, you name it, we've had it here, or we still have it here. If you haven't seen the inside of a truck, this might be what it looks like. You get your driver's seat, your co-pilot seat, lots of storage because you're living out of this truck essentially. Your bunk might be able to fold up here with a table and booth-like setting, and then fold back down whenever you're ready to go to sleep, that we have some additional seating. Usually the trucks are very comfortable because you spend most of your time in that driver's seat. So they want to make sure you have a comfortable setting to drive in. Most companies are going to have a microwave, TV, comfortable bed there for you. Lots of comforts of home. Different driving jobs. You can haul freights of all different kinds. You can remain in a primarily specified area of the country, depending on the company you're going to work for. Most companies do offer weekly home time, great pay, steady runs, and company benefits. The driver pay scales, as you guys heard from Sade, their average first-year driver is making $63,000 a year. These numbers that I have posted are very low, but we have to go by what is still published on the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics. School qualifications. We will review your driving record, criminal background, physical abilities. We administer a drug screen on every student that comes through the doors here. And most important, we want to know your intensity to succeed. We ensure that you can benefit from our training before you start. We want to make sure that you are employable, because that's the ultimate goal. We have a 4-week residence hands-on training. We've got a great 350-acre campus with our 1¼ mile track that we teach you how to drive on. You're going to learn how to upshift, downshift, and stop a 70-foot tractor trailer before you ever leave the property. It's a great controlled environment where you're not having to worry about other cars on the road or anything like that. We also have a simulator that we utilize for any issues that might pop up. If somebody's having a difficult time with backing, we can get them on the simulator with one of our instructors just to kind of work out any kinks that you might have. It's really cool. The whole seat moves like you're in an actual truck, so it's super realistic. Our placement process we've been perfecting for over 44 years, and it really does work. The Career Services Department, which is my department here, we start working with our students on the very first day of school. So the first day I'm in there talking to the entire class, and if you have any questions or you need any guidance, that's what we're here for. We use a one-on-one private counseling sessions to direct our students to companies that would be a good match for both the company and the student. We also have a job board for all of our alumni, truckschool.com/jobs, where you can go and look at different job opportunities throughout the country. You might ask yourself, if you're coming from out of town, where am I going to stay? Really, you can stay anywhere you want, but for the best deal, we definitely recommend the Green Cove Springs Inn. It's located about 7 miles from our training grounds. We have microwaves, refrigerators, free cable with HBO, and free Wi-Fi in each room. Special rates for our students: double occupancy, where you have a roommate that is another student of the school, $902 for the 4 weeks, breaks down to about $34 a night, so you really can't beat that. Cost, fees, and financing: the tuition for the school is $7,495. We have financing from outside financing like banks and credit unions, workforce, vocational rehab, the Veterans Affairs, TAA, income share agreements. We use Mia Share for that. We have in-house financing, and as Sade mentioned, tuition reimbursement for most of the companies that come through here. We've been doing this for a long time. It's all good. We have it all. We have the companies and the jobs. We have the industry recognition. We have impeccable governmental relations. We've guaranteed tuition financing for everyone. We have over 40,000 graduates that came possibly before you. We have a program that is really fun to complete. We have an awesome training facility. We always appreciate our students from the Departments of Veterans Affairs, Department of Vocational Rehab Programs, State Vocational Rehab Programs, State Workforce Programs, and the Bureau of Indian Affairs. In addition to a great company like Schneider, we have multiple companies that come and talk to each of our classes. Usually around 10 different companies come and talk to each class. So as long as you're filling out job applications, you will have multiple job offers before you leave school. At this time, if anybody has any other questions, you can raise your hand or pop them into the question box. I'll be happy to answer them for you. All right, so while we're giving everybody a chance to think of any questions, I'm going to talk about a couple of special announcements. Our next truck webinar is going to be 2 weeks from tonight at 6:30 on January 24th with Windy Hill Foliage. That will be Donnie Graves. We always love having Donnie on. Come talk to you guys about his wonderful company as well. Next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, but the following, on January 21st, we do have an open house event here at our school. It's going to take place from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We have a couple of companies coming in. Great time to have you guys out. Bring your family, bring your friends. You can bring your kiddos. Show you around our school. We'll do a little presentation with you guys, let you get on that simulator, take you for a ride in the tractor trailer semi, and even take you out to our heavy equipment section and let you guys try out a piece of equipment too. So it's a good time. Nice little 3-hour morning. Supposed to be pretty nice weather as of right now, so would love to see you guys here. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Contact your representative in the morning. 1-800-488-7364. Your lost time is costing you big money. It's all good. You just got to make sure you call. Now is the best time to get into this industry, guys. I can't stress it enough. So make sure you call our admissions office tomorrow morning. 800-488-7364. Thank you guys so much for joining. In order to sign off of the webinar, you're going to go to File, Exit, Leave Webinar. File, Exit, Leave Webinar. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys have a great night.